OMG. Hello, lovelies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm a little poopty tired because this morning I woke up and it was like, I don't want to get up yet. So me and Kitty Kitty stayed in bed until about 10:30. And it was nice to just rest and just be. So then finally I had to go out and pick up some stuff, pick up a pizza for the young one who was having a pizza frenzy problem yesterday. And her energy was very interesting. And I see more. Well, what's interesting is karma's a bitch. Because whatever you put out there, however you put it out, it comes back to you. So some people just have to keep learning about that. Now, karma can be good. You can get good karma back. But if you're someone that's constantly doing negative stuff and calling people names and doing all kind of crazy stuff, and you just think that that energy is not going to come back to you, it comes back. It's a mirror effect. Find it very interesting. So today I'm going to talk about something really interesting that happened when I went out. I noticed how crystal clear it was. It was like super clear. And I said, oh, we're getting hit. We're getting super inundated. So I find it really interesting that there are people who are just doing what they want. You know, they're not tied into anything that's going on in the circle thing. Hi, darling. Hi, darling. And I find it really interesting that there's a looping energy going on. So, like, I'm cleaning up 20 years of old illness and money stuff that came up. And I'm like, this is so old. I'm way beyond this. And I'm like, what is this? And I go, oh, wait a minute. This is a loop energy. So I'm cleaning that and releasing it and getting rid of that. And I just ignore the shit out of it. Because you know what? Here's the deal. I don't care anymore. I really don't. I don't care anymore. I had something kind of come through my mind, and it was about people that are, I was talking to someone and we're talking about work, and she said, yeah, it just ticks me off to know into how some companies think they're doing you a favor when they give you a raise. And I said, oh, don't go. I said, don't even talk to me about raises. Because in nursing, I'm going to use nursing, and how insulting it is when you go to school, you go and get your degrees, you go and get your education, you go out there, you are in contact with everything underneath the moon. You don't even find out that you've been contaminated until after the fact. Okay? But yet and still, when it comes time to giving a raise, they make it sound like they're doing you the greatest favor. Oh, we're going to call you in for a review of your job. You've been doing such an excellent thing. You don't call out. You've been doing so good. You're doing such a good. We're going to give you your raise, and it's 15 cents. I'm going somewhere with this because after tomorrow, the shit's going to hit the motherfucking fan. Okay, I'm sorry I got to say it that way, but it is. It's going to hit the fan. And it's going to be in a very energetic, silent type of hitting. It really is. It's everything that's happening around us is being obscured, smoke and mirrors. Not supposed to see the whole thing, but those of us that see can see, those of us that can hear, and will speak it out loud. So she was just telling me, she says, I found it so insulting. And I said, yeah, I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. I think when people can sit back and think that they can give 10, 15, 25 cents raise, and they don't look at what is going on in the world, high gas prices, high food costs, you got to cover your own medical places. Most jobs you work now won't even cover you for medical. You have to pay for it out of your own pocket, out of the so-called minimum wage that they're paying you. It's a cycle that has to be removed because no one can get ahead being kept at a low part. I listen to some of these CEO people. Oh, wait, let me finish up the nursing part. Do you know what I was told once in an interview and a review for an increase? I asked, why so little? Why can't you afford to give me $1 raise? They said, oh no, we don't want to give you $1 raise yet because if we do, you'll tap out beforehand. You'll be making too much money. And I said, that makes no sense. I should be getting paid for the energy I'm expanding and doing with you. I should be getting paid. Pay me in my weight of gold. Pay me my weight of gold. I should be getting paid. This is why there's going to be a huge burst of energy by next year. A lot of people are going to be just doing their own businesses, doing their own thing, and being successful at it. Because the ground we're laying right now is we're saying no more to this so-called minimum wage bullcrap. If your companies like Sprouts, they can afford to have all this food and stuff come in, overcharging people, yet these people who run the store are so rich. Oh, they're such a rich company. Well, then tell them to lower the prices. Give to the people. What are they so afraid of? That they won't have money for themselves? I always say this. The company you work for, if they can afford good cars and afford where they want to live in their own houses and afford good food and afford to go travel and have vacations whenever they want to, you should be able to have the same thing when you're working for them because that shows true abundance. That shows true prosperity. That shows true alignment. Period. So this is why this whole evolution of creation is coming up now where everyone's going to be doing their own thing because people are done. Tired of working for places that don't respect you, tired of working for places that when you put in for a time off, you got to play this game of if you're going to get it or not, or you can't get the time off because it's going to throw everything in a tizzy. I think people who think like that, they are a part of the bigger problem instead of really coming from a higher frequency of thinking and saying, you know what, let me do this. I will never forget this, and I've said it time and time again. When I was younger, I did an interview with a guy who was the owner of Giant Burgers. I think it was Giant Burgers in Vallejo. And I remember I sat at the table with him. I did an interview, and it was for um, I think it was some kind of project I was doing in English, doing an interview, social science or something. I can't remember. So, and I will never forget what he said. And I said, what makes your business so successful? And he says, I do it because I love it. I said, how do you pay your employees? He says, I pay them well. I said, well, what's the starting pay? Because I remember at the time I was working at, I think it was Kentucky Fried Chicken or something, and it was like very minimum wage. Was it? Was it caregiving? A CNA. I think it was a CNA. I think I was working as a CNA at the time. And CNA work, certified the nursing assistant work, you don't make anything. They work your ass to death. They give you all the heavy loads, constantly battling with patients that beat you up while you're trying to take care of them. And it's a crappy paying job where people who work the job, you have to work a double shift just to try to make ends meet. Okay? I'm going in because I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care. If this makes somebody get triggered, I don't care. Then maybe the triggering is you're probably part of the problem because you're not even stepping up trying to correct it. Maybe that's what the triggering is. You're part of the problem. So I asked a question. Why, how do you take care of your employees? He says, I pay them well. And when he told me he pays his employees at that time, okay, I'm talking back in 1980, 88. No, wait, I graduated in 1984. So 1983 or 84, right in there before I graduated when I did this interview. He was paying his employees. Starting pay was $10 an hour, which is unheard of. It was unheard of back then. $10 an hour. And you know what? He said he rarely had anyone quitting, rarely had anybody not showing up for work or calling in. His business was always successful and the people were happy. And that's always stuck with me because I work for places that don't give a damn. All you are is a number to them, a body, and they'll pay you whatever. But those days are coming down. People cannot make it on minimum wage. And any company like McDonald's, Burger King, all of them, I listen to people and I it just it just really irks me when I hear companies say things, oh, we can't afford to be paying people this. Do you sit at your table at night and you have whatever the hell you want? Is your car running fine? You can go out and buy a new car anytime you want, right? You pay your rent. You don't have any problem. You probably got money in the bank, right? But yet still, you look at your employees who come in. They're driving a car that's on its last leg, trying to get in the door on time for you. They're stressed out, and you're acting like you can't pay them more money. Really? I think you need to go evaluate that. Because if you're blessed enough to have a company and you're blessed enough to have so many employees, then you're blessed enough to pay them correctly. That's how that rolls. And I'm saying it the way it is. I don't care if ruffles somebody's feathers. I don't care. It's the truth of it. It is the truth, and you know it. You know it. And here's the part: some people that sit in their companies that do all this, they're guilty of sin. Guilty. And they sit back and they laugh about how they can nickel and dime people. They think they do it so good. Oh, God, I had to pay my employees. Good. You should be happy that somebody wants to even work for your company and they show up. You should be giving thanks This message is for all of you out there not looking at the bigger picture of how your employees are hanging on by a thread. Trying to make ends meet in this day of time. Shit. I remember when I could go into a grocery store, I can get 4 or 5 bags of groceries for right at $30. Enough food for over a week and a half, maybe two. Can I do that now? Can any of us do that now? I am fired up today. You want to know why? Because after having that discussion and then walking out and seeing how bright that sun is, I was like, we're getting ready to get lit up. We're getting lit up right now. It's lit up time. How about this? We're all out of bubble gum. It's ass spanking time now. I just don't care. I really don't. I don't care how anybody sees me, how anybody feels about what I'm saying. Aren't you tired of editing yourself because you don't want to rock the freaking boat with somebody? You don't want to say the wrong thing. Oh, because someone's going to get their shit all out of line. You got to be light and loving everybody every day. No, 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 no. 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 I'm sorry. Some of us are just hanging on the edge. We're about ready to be special bulletin at 6:30. I am not kidding. We're hitting that threshold of the eclipse energy that's coming in. We got planets, still 5 of them in retrograde. And we got these xenomorphs out here gonna test us on our nervous system. I'm sorry. I think you guys had enough time of testing. You've had 3 freaking years of testing. You've had 3 freaking years of testing us. What more of a test do you want? Some of us are standing in our light. Some of us are, "Oh, I don't know what to do with my stuff." Tell me what to do because I don't know what to do. That's been cut off. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you're thinking of what I'm saying right now. I am speaking my truth. You don't like it? Click off. So many people are hanging on the edge. They're hanging on the edge. Walk into the store today and I'm like, okay, let me get these. I'm going to get some coconut milk because I want to make some fish and coconut rice milk. And I see the stress in people's eyes. I'm seeing people who are they've had enough. All of us have had enough. And if you think, and I'm saying this for the lower vibrational beings, if you think we're going to lay down and make this so freaking easy for you, I'm sorry. Newsflash. Let me spell it out for you. N-O. No. You want war? We'll give you war. You want to fight? We'll give you fight. But you know what? Here's the thing. We're ready to stand in our light of who you are. Are you? Are you? Are you ready to come out of the shadows? Are you ready to stop working behind the frequencies, turning dials and messing with people? Are you ready to stop doing that? I often wonder, what would it be like if we all just met face to face? Could you imagine what that would be like? They wouldn't be able to handle it. The light would be too bright. That's why they do everything so secretively. And it's all convoluted. Yesterday, just going in, once again, picking up chips and salsa because for some reason I'm eating that and I'm loving it because I don't care. Bear with me. I got a message here. This is a good teaching. I'm using this whole energy effect to get my point across, to shake you up so that when you start seeing stuff and start feeling things, you know what the fuck is going on. Okay? You know what's going on. You're not sitting back thinking it's in your mind. You're not sitting back waiting for some kind of something to come that's going to, whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen in a big way. And it's going to get all of our attentions. That I know. But right now, we have to play this game of serving our nerves and hoping that we don't, you know, miss the main point of the meal. But just walking into getting chips and salsa yesterday, and I'm waiting, and I look up, and this should drive you kind of nuts. I'm seeing all this broadcasting, and I see this whole thing with T, and they're saying that he something about something he owned. He had some kind of fraudulent something. But then I had to look. He had a blue tie on. I said, "Oh, that's the clone. The one with the red tie is out going about talking and saying he's running for 2024, doing all that stuff." Okay, that's the energy of that. So I wonder how many people are sitting back saying, "Wait a minute, I thought he was this. I thought this was going. How is that happening?" You haven't connected the dots yet. Should be connecting the dots. Should really be connecting it because some people just aren't connecting the dots. So I say this because there was a lot of things that are coming up, and people are on the edge, wondering how they're going to pay for their stuff. And then I hear this thing, and this is kind of was kind of brought it to my attention. Denmark. And then I look around here where I am, and all of a sudden it's like out of the blue, they're doing all this construction work. They're building all these apartment complex places. All of a sudden, just out of the blue. I'm like, we're getting ready to go into wintertime. Why are you knocking down marsh land where there used to be a lot of water coming up and life stuff was in it, and you didn't put dirt over it? Okay, so I know what's going to happen in wintertime. That's all going to come up because it's a natural water duct. So you mean to tell me you're going to lay foundation there where these places are going, these homes or apartments are going to go? You're going to lay them there, and they're going to have mold issues, foundation settling issues, plumbing issues, because that's a very watery, muddy type of area. I'm tired of places where I used to go and do walking, come back, a freaking fence is up. Next thing you know, they're building all over the place. I'm like, damn, if this is not the Matrix, I don't know what is. I don't care about ruffling somebody's feathers right now. Because here's the bottom line, it's the truth of things. And when you stand in your truth and you see things the way they are, and you can't just keep putting a smile on your face saying, everything's going to be good. No, you need to be looking at this saying, what the hell's going on? Why all of a sudden, we went from everything being a standstill, how's everything being built right now, and everything's going sky high, and things shouldn't be going sky high. Denmark, let me finish clarifying that. It's supposed to be one of the happiest places to live. You want to know why? Because they only work 33 hours a week. 33. They get free medical, free attendance through universities going for education. Sound familiar? Like what they want to implement? That so-called, not what, Jasara, Nasara, whatever the hell that was. I don't know. I don't even know if that stuff is still, but Denmark seems to be the model of happiness. It seems to be the model for that. They're going to be, a happy place to live. It's supposed to be the most happiest place to live on the earth because everybody's needs are met. Nobody is in lack. Nobody is homeless. Nobody doesn't have to worry about where food is coming from. This is Mother Earth. She has more than an abundance. It's only because certain human beings are manipulating it. She has all the food we need. She has all the plant medicine, all the healing that we need. She has everything. She has it all. Which is why when this purge hits, those that think they are so in control of everything, bye. Bye bye. You're going. It's flipping time. Mother Earth is full of abundance. And why should we walk around in fear of not having something? Why should we walk around in this constant state of, I gotta make this happen, I gotta make this happen, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta live like this, I gotta da. When you constantly have weird energy that's interfering with you getting that. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing and how you're manifesting, and there's nothing wrong with your dream board. There's nothing wrong with you. It's the energy that wants to control you from having it. That's all there is to it. When you really step back and look at it, that's all it is to it. Some people can make it happen really easy. But it all depends on what are they really sacrificing to get that. They're always on the move. They never really can call a place home. They can call Mother Earth home. Earth is the home. But they can never really just say, I have a home address. I receive mail there every day. This is my home. This is my sanctuary. They're always on the move. Every place where they go, that's their new home. That's their new home. And that's great when you're young. But when you're up in age, you're ready to kind of settle down and have a place of your own. So, the reason why I say this is because today, when I saw how bright it was, The energy, I mean, it was like looking through glass. It was that high definition of energy that I was in. I was like, holy crap, we're getting ready to get it. I mean, it's great, it's good energy, but at the same time, it's bringing in that shifting, it's bringing in that awareness, bringing in everything. So when you look at tomorrow for 10 4, 10 4, I thought it was kind of interesting. Some people were bringing up that's code for like when you are on a walkie talkie or when they talk, and it's true. 10 4, 10 4 means okay, got you, message being sent, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But it kind of makes me wonder about all the stuff that was going on earlier today, testing in Russia. They're all about, the nuclear, preparing their people for nuclear. Why are you preparing people for nuclear fallout? Why? You planning to do something over there? We do not have time to be putting up with a bunch of xenomorphs. And it's the male species, some of the male species that want to push a button. This is why your butts are getting off this planet because we're done. So I have said what I needed to say. If my words have offended you in any way, shape, or form, I am not going to apologize for that because I am a sovereign being and I don't consent to xenomorphs and as any archons and anybody else that has no divine being in them, no soul. I'm unapologetic for this. And you know what? I've earned it and it feels good. And you should feel good too whenever you want to say something and get it off your chest. Tired of tiptoeing around. Oh, I can't say this. Oh, don't care anymore. I just don't. And I don't care how you see this. But what I do want to make sure you understand is I spoke my truth and I said it like it is because I'm pretty sure you've been thinking the same thing on a lot of different situations coming up, on a lot of different things that have come up around you. Karma's a bitch. You treat somebody crappy, don't think that in the next 24 hours that's not going to show up on your doorstep because it will. Back in the day, when you would treat somebody wrong or you do somebody wrong or you were just mean to them for no reason, it would take a while for that to come back. No, now it's like so many hours. Give back. You get what you give back. Whatever you give, you get it back. So keep in mind the eclipse energy that's happening over us, United States. United States has a lot of karmic energy. United States, all of these so-called elite leaders of United States have a lot of payback to do. Pay me my weight in gold. You have done horrendous things to a lot of people in the United States. The United States has never been great for some people. I'm saying it the way it is, and everybody knows it. It has not been great for all Americans. So when I say karma is coming around, karma's coming around. And it's not going to show any mercy. And it's not going to sit back and look at your bank account and say, oh, well, you got millions and millions of dollars. I'll bypass you. No, your money ain't going to help you. Your digital's not going to help you. Your digital wallet's not going to help you. Even your gold sitting in the vaults are not going to help you. It's not going to help you. It's not going to save you from what's coming. And it's about to get popcorn time. So, with that being said, I really hope that everything that I said was not offensive at all. It was just me speaking my true voice. And I'm very unapologetic. apologetic for it because it's the truth of things. So, with that being said, what are we seeking as a message? What's the seeking? And I really hope after I talked to that friend of mine, the way she was just really, very upset about the minimum wage and how to make things meet. I said, just wait. We're getting ready to flip soon. Ain't nobody gonna be having time to be dealing with that. But Denmark, most happiest place to live because they give their people what they need, and I guess they want for nothing else. They're happy. Undeserving villains. Woo! Undeserving villains. And then the answer to what you seek is nurture all you love. Yes, I love this. Nurture all that you love. So, undeserving villains. How does that play out? What else we're seeking with that? Expand your universe. Woo! And the message for expanding the universe. Man, the dragons are hitting it. This is expand your universe. I love this. Standing in the truth. And then be patient. It's coming. The dragons are working that energy. I think it's really interesting that I got 2 dragon energies here. Because the energy I was moving through was a lot of dragon energy. With our dragons. The upgraded version. I always wanted to say that. It's kind of good. Like, dragon on. All right. Anyway, everyone, I just wanted to hop on here and just leave this message. I'm not sure how you feel about tomorrow. Do what your soul and your mind calls you to do. I'm not participating. I'm not going to be here to be a part of the whole shenanigans of whatever they're doing. I'm not sure. It's like this to me. Even if it happens or not happens, we've been through this before. One time before, they were trying to make this happen and it only was halfway done. So we'll see how they do this. But there's so many different scenarios playing out right now, so many different timelines playing out right now. We have to just stay in our higher timeline of self and just go for now. And please, whatever it is that you are thinking of doing or being a part of or cultivating or whatever that might be, there is no right or wrong way to this whole new journey that we're all doing on this planet. But there's one thing that has to change. Is saying no to people that don't appreciate you and saying yes to you or what you will put up with and won't put up with anymore. Life is too short to be dilly-wagging around with people that are abusive, cruel, don't care, they only care about themselves, all that stuff. Life is too short. And now's the time that you really have to look at what would you like to be doing that makes you happy and live from there. Okay. I hope my message rattled the hell out of you. I hope it made you say, Felicia, I need more. I hope it shook you up to get you thinking about what you should say yes to and what you should say no to. And if you're looping, heal that loop, recognize what it is, and clear it. We're all running into our looping fear timelines. They're old imitation timelines. That's all it is. Recognize it for what it is, but don't anchor into it and don't get stuck in it. And don't go try to rescue others out of their loops because they're looping for a reason. Because they got all the red flags in the world and they chose not to listen. They just stayed in it. They just kept on going. Because somewhere in their mind, they still don't value themselves. Period. All right. That's the message for tonight. Be good to yourselves. Be so light. And like I said, this video was all about I needed to say what I needed to say, get that out there. And I totally respect people when they're talking to me about how they feel about stuff because, yeah, I start thinking about, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Minimum wage out in Denmark, everybody starts off at $20 an hour and it goes up from there. They only work 33 hours a week. And most of that, too, I have to look at, too, is probably so companies don't have to worry about paying benefits. Because it's hard now to find companies that have good benefits so that you can have that from working with those companies. A lot of companies don't offer that anymore. Kind of sad. But it's because of the way everything intertwines on top of each other to create limitations. So everyone is limited to do or to pay more or limited to give more or limited because of how everything topples over. Excessive fees, license fees, all of this insurances, all of this stuff you have to do in order to run a business, in order to have the employees, and things keep going up wherever you're renting to run your business. It's ridiculous. It really is. All right. Be good to yourselves. Think about what I said. And if you have something that you've always wanted to do a business on or be your own boss on, step up and do it. Do it. It'll take some time. Be patient with yourself. But in the end, you'll be the boss of you. Be so